or, I can't even begin to list how many things I've been told that I have and why I'm looked at so weirdly, is weirdly a word, oddly. And it's why I've hidden this inside me, and I've had this deep secret inside of me for so long, because of what I knew I would be thought of. And I didn't want that to reflect on my children or my husband or my family. I didn't want them taking the brunt. I don't know why I'm speaking incorrectly today. The brunt of the negativity for who I am. But because of my history of depression and anxiety, I knew that going forward, the only way to free myself of depression and anxiety was to free myself from the chains of holding back what I had and what I knew to help people. We all have gifts that we have intuitively had with us our entire lives. Perhaps you're a wonderful writer or a great speaker. Perhaps you're an empathetic person that can tell when something is wrong with one of your friends. Maybe you have a connection with animals. Whatever it is, we all come down here with gifts. And I think we are obliged to use them. My husband and I are catching up watching The Chef's Table on Netflix, and we recently watched an episode, and they were featuring, and I forget her name is Bo from Thailand. It's in the later seasons. And she talked about, she's bringing Thai food, true authentic Thai food, to Thailand in Bangkok. And she was talking about how she knew that she owed it to her culture to continue this authentic Thai by supporting the environment, by supporting farmers, and etc. But she knew the reason why she was here. And I get several clients asking me, why am I here? And that's kind of like the $1 million question is, why am I here? And it's discovering that gift inside of you that you need to share. And I can help with that. But it is deep inside of us. And I truly believe that we are all meant to touch this world in a different way. I will say, without question, this is what I believe, and this is what I have always received from the universe. And I know it's not smart to make perhaps certain stands for my business, but I feel like I need to say it because to thy own self be true. I believe that love is love. Gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, love is love. I believe that if you are transgender, you're transgender. That is your course in life to learn from God. From God. I believe in the goodness in everyone. I believe in helping everyone. I believe in helping those that have less than us. I believe in helping the environment and supporting the environment. But above all, I do not believe in a devil, and I do not believe in a hell. I have connected at this point since I started this business, so I'm just quoting from when I started this business, I believe in February. Every entity that I've ever connected with at home, which I've connected with 99.9% of entities from home, I've never heard about a hell. I've never heard about a devil. Never. Hell and devil is, I'm going to say man's creation. I usually correct it to human's creation, but it's man's creation. I'm going to say that because historically it was man who created hell to get tiding. This is documented. The hell is only in others and in ourselves. And it's to put down others. When you hear the phrase that it just makes my skin crawl, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. First of all, Adam and Eve didn't exist. And second of all, when you say Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve, you're saying we're better than you. We're saying you can't love. Who cares who you love? Do you really think if Jesus was here right now that Jesus would care if a man was kissing another man? No. He would care that they loved each other, that they were good to each other. The last thing he's going to worry about is what's going on in their bedroom. That's not anyone else's business. As long as you're healthy, as long as you're safe, that's no one's business. Love is love is love. And I'm sure that if you didn't believe otherwise, you probably wouldn't be listening to me still. But I have to make that declaration. And if you haven't guessed already, I'm quite the feminist. And it's not that I believe that women are better than men, but I do believe that historically, patriarchy has ruled. And men have put down women. Societies have put down women on a lower level when we have great strengths and assets that we can use. And I believe in equality. Equality is not pie. Just because there's equality doesn't mean that there is less, power, quote unquote, for men. It just means that we're equal and we're treated as people and not our gender or what we define ourselves as. So that being said, I didn't choose to be a psychic medium. I already said that. But if you are letting your fear in anyone else, whether it be a psychic medium, or if you are afraid when you go by a mosque, or if you are afraid when you go by a Buddhist temple, I remember I had the wonderful, wonderful opportunity to go to Turkey over 10 years ago. And I remember being very uncomfortable when I heard the prayer bell for morning prayer, whatever, at the mosque. It made me very uncomfortable. And I didn't like it at first. It was very like, I didn't know what to think because I'd never heard it. And I said this to my husband and he said, it's different. It's not bad. It's different. It was scary for me just because of all the politics that were going on in the world a decade ago. And then I realized, you're right. It's me stereotyping this entire belief system. It's because I wasn't used to it. But if a psychic medium scares you, then you need to look inside yourself, which obviously you wouldn't be listening to this podcast if a psychic medium scared you. But whatever bothers you, maybe you're still getting used to the idea that some people can be transgender or bisexual or whatever. If you have that, if you are uncomfortable by a gender or a race or a sexual orientation, look deep inside of yourself and find out what it is that makes you uncomfortable. Is it just that you've never met anyone that's transgender or bisexual or a psychic medium? Or is it true? I bet you it's just that you haven't gotten to know anyone. You don't have those people in your life. So of course it's going to be uncomfortable, but it doesn't make it wrong. It does not make me evil. And if anyone tells you that any of those groups are evil, then you are at the wrong church or you are hanging out with the wrong people. Because I promise you, God doesn't care what skin color you are, what gender you prefer or don't prefer, what your sexual orientation is. God doesn't care what you do in the bedroom, as long as it's healthy and good and safe. I'll scratch good because good is relative in those situations. God cares that you are a good person, that you do your best, that you help those that need help, that you are kind, that you are gentle, that you, when you make a mistake, you try to fix it, that you try not to hurt people with your actions or your words. And if you do, you learn from it. God knows. I remember when I was in catechism for Catholic, when I was, 5 or 6, I remember this nun told me that Jesus loved me so much that he knew how many hairs were on my head. And I remember even at 5 and 6, I was like, that's incredible that someone can love me so much that they know, and we're talking billions of people, can know that. So do you really think that God or Jesus or Muhammad, whoever, cares about what's going on in your bedroom? Or do you really think that they care that I am a psychic medium? No. They care that I'm trying to help people. And I know that when I pass on, I'm going home. I'm going to the only place that we all go. Regardless of what religion we are and regardless of who we are, we will go home, except in very select circumstances, like suicides, where suicides are a different entity in that, and I can talk about this on another podcast, but in the majority of cases, we all go home. And no, we're not all friends with each other. No, I'm not going to be friends. We all have our groups, our social groups at home, just like we have here. But at home, we have forgiven each other. We have forgiven ourselves for things that we've screwed up on earth. And we still love each other. Just because, I didn't have a great relationship with XYZ doesn't mean they're not going to greet me when I'm coming home. They're still going to greet me and say, welcome home. And I might go, why are you here? And then they'll say, well, here, I'll show you. Let's show why, we did what we did to each other. And then we hug and that's it. Life is too short to hold hatred or prejudice in our heart for anyone or anything. We, in this lifetime, get one shot to do whatever we are supposed to do in this lifetime, and it's different for everyone. But we have this one shot right now to make a difference. Do you really want to spend however long this life is hating someone else, hurting someone else, or disregarding or rejecting someone else just because they're different than you or you don't understand them? I don't. If I don't understand, so for instance, I have, there's a wonderful same-sex couple down the street that has kids my daughter's age. And I remember a couple of months ago, I was very curious. One of them is sick, and I asked them a question that I just didn't know the answer to, and I was, and I said, I don't want to offend you. I said, but I was curious about something, and they were happy to answer. I wasn't saying I don't like you because of this, but I just had a question about their relationship, and they were happy to answer. Because I wasn't going from a place of hatred. It was really just trying to understand. It was a place of understanding. And because I was coming from a place of understanding, they reciprocated. And I think they're wonderful. Life is too short to have misunderstandings with people. I really think when it gets down to it, we're down here to love each other, to accept each other, and to work through all of this negativity that's already here. That's the ironic thing, is that there's already so much crap for us to deal with here. The environment is suffering. We have all of these problems already. Why do you want to spend your energy hating someone or being fearful of someone just because they are different than you? And when it comes down to it, how this podcast, this idea started, it came from that text that said, these women don't accept you because they think you're XYZ. And that's okay. At the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that I'm still a psychic medium. It just shows me that people have fear in their heart for what they do not understand. And some people aren't ready for that. I understand that. I have 295 people on my Facebook right now that have liked my page. Now, of those, I would say, I don't know, rough estimate, maybe I've read for 75 to 100 people. That means that there's still 200 people that are not ready, just based on Facebook likes, that are not ready to come and chat with me. And that's okay. I understand that we're